Okay, so here's a little funny story time for you guys. There is a cosplayer named Lynn who has done cosplay for a very long time, but not recording videos. And she found out about this wonderful program called OBS Studios, which she likes to use sometimes. But unfortunately for her, on her laptop, which she plays games on and works great all the time, for some reason, every time she tries to record a video on it, it freezes. And she has tried every fix humanly possible to get it to work, including uninstalling it, reinstalling it, doing upgrades and updates, downloading a lower version, trying to turn everything off on her computer. Like, I'm like, okay, obviously fate is telling me just use your phone, for the love of God. Lynn, use your phone. So here I am. I'm going to record today's video on my phone, which is sitting on top of my sewing machine. So welcome in to the crafting space. I got a lot of stuff going on back there, including Milo the cat, and also the Ari costume I've been working on. So, oh my God, if today's video is not indicative of how December has been going for me, I don't know what is. So guys, okay, first off, just bring it down. There we go, just like a few inches. Good thing about having an electric desk, it goes up and down very easily. December. I am an extrovert and I love giving gifts. I love wrapping presents. It's always been a huge joy for me to do this every year. But I feel like in recent years, the expectations around the holidays has just gotten completely outrageous. Maybe it's social media. Maybe it's like having to see everything at all times that everyone else is doing, puts these weird ideas into your head about like, am I doing enough? Are my gifts good enough? What if I don't spend time with enough people? And you get to this point where it's almost Christmas. Like right now, it's a few days before Christmas. And I still have projects over here that I'm working on for Christmas gifts. I would rather be working on my cosplay costumes. And I think today I'm going to take it a little easy. I think I'm going to go get sushi for lunch. I'm going to go finish watching the Santa Claus 2. But first, I'm giving you guys your Christmas gift today, which is a video I have been saving all year for. Now, I could not make this video if I were sponsored or affiliated or invited to conventions as like some really cool cosplay influencer, but that's not who I am. That's not the content I make or what I do. I am just your average hobby cosplayer who's been doing this a long time. So that's why today I get to talk about my most controversial cosplay opinions. And these are going to be things that like you guys probably won't all agree with, and that's okay. You don't have to agree. It's my opinion, not yours. I am here to just talk it out. And who knows, maybe some people out there might be like, finally, someone's bringing this up. Most of my controversial videos, I try to see both sides. Like I did a video back when I talked about sexy cosplay. I've done videos talking about cosplay influencers. And I've always tried to be like, you know what? There's two sides to every story. I want to be fair when I talk about these things. Like I'm going to say my opinion, but I'm also going to say like probably how the other side feels and, you know, what motivates them too. But today, my topics are going to be way more brief and they're going to be very much more just like, this is how I feel about it. And I don't really care what anyone else says. So I hope you like the drama. I hope you like the spice of today's video. I've saved it for Christmas because I knew this was going to be a hard time of year and you guys need a break. You need to relax. You need to just like have something really good to listen to that you're like, ah, yes, drama. This helps me regulate my nervous system. I love other people's drama. So sit back, get your gingerbread cookies, your coffee, and let's just go into it. So my first opinion, and yes, I do have notes up that I'm going to look at. Got to get my thoughts organized. Okay, the first crazy opinion that I have is that if you are going to be a host for a panel at a cosplay convention, you need to have good social skills. It is not an option. You just need to. And you also need to be an excellent entertainer. So good social skills and excellent entertainer. Guys, those are like non-optional things. If you want to host a panel, you need to have those skills. If you want to host a panel and you're like, I can't talk to people in real life, I have the social skills of a potato. I can't do real life events, but I still have a lot to say, or I have a lot to present that I think people will be interested in. Go grab your extroverted friend. Go grab the friend that loves to talk, that loves to answer public questions, the person that's not scared of talking in front of a crowd, because they are about to do you a great service to your panel. I have been to so many panels that I was just so disappointed in. And honestly, none of them I made it all the way through. I would always walk out like 15 to 20 minutes in and just be like, nah, I'm done with this. I don't want to sit through this. A lot of people have also started hosting panels in the past couple years because some conventions now will actually give you a free badge if you qualify. Like if you apply to do a panel and you actually make it in, they'll actually send you a free badge as like a thank you for like, you know, doing something for our event to make it event worthy. The problem with that is that you get a lot more people doing it because they want the free badge, but they really could care less about the panel itself. And it's very clear when you go into it and they talk into their microphone and you can't understand what the heck they're saying, or they are not friendly and they are not in a good mood while they're doing this panel, and they are not an entertainer. And by an entertainer, I mean, you guys, you got to have audience participation. Break it up. Take questions, have people come up and be interactive with them, or go into the audience, have someone with microphone out there holding it up so someone can ask questions while still staying in their seat. If you are doing like a panel that has a game show element to it or some sort of like interactive game, you need to split it up so that you are having volunteers come up periodically, not just at the start. One of the panels I went to, they chose all of the volunteers for the game at the very start, like within the very first like 3 minutes of being there. And because the room was so big, they could only see people raising their hands in the first like 10 rows. So everyone who was in the back 10 rows, none of them got chosen to go up. And a lot of people were very upset about that and they left. That could have been remedied by either having someone go out into the audience to choose people, or choose the first few people, have them play the first round or two, and then have them go back to their seats, and then have a round 2, a round 3, or round 4. It's really not that hard to do. I think you need to be in successful panels and be like, oh, okay, I get it. I see how people are doing this live, and then bring that back, bring that knowledge back, and figure it out on your own. The other part of hosting a panel that I'm like, please, for the love of God, like figure this out, is your presentation. I have seen so many presentations where the person who is clicking through the slides is acting like they have never seen this material. They have no clue how their presentation works. Like they have it up either in Publisher or in like a Canva sort of document, an interactive document. But it is very clear that whoever made this was not them, or they like downloaded it and then never played around, never practiced with it. If you're going to be in front of a crowd of 50 people, please just practice your presentation, like practice it at home. Have your laptop plugged into your TV, plugged into a projector, whatever, like really get the feel for it. Because a lot of people, I've seen them plugging it in to whatever system they have set up at a convention because they'll differ. And then they're like, oh, my screen, I can't see it, it turned off, because you have it on single screen mode. And so it's like, it's going up on the projector screen. So now you have to like look behind you to see what you're actually doing. You can do split screen. You can have multiple screens up, but that's something you got to figure out before you get there. And this shouldn't even be controversial, but I have to say it. Don't do a panel if you hate people. It is insane the amount of panels I have witnessed where it's clear the person leading the panel, they love to make costumes or do makeup or style wigs, but they don't like people. And I'm like, well, why are you teaching people if you don't like them? It's okay. You can be an awesome cosplayer and be like, yeah, but I'm not really interested in being a teacher. That's totally fine. I feel like maybe some of the community is pressuring people where they're like, oh, well, if you're good enough, then you should be teaching others. Or, you know, if you're worthy of being a cosplayer in this community, then maybe you need to show it off by like doing classes to prove how amazing you are. That's total BS. Like if you do a panel, it's because you love people, you're, you know, loud, you like to talk, you're good, like answering questions on the fly, you're adaptable. It doesn't mean just because you're a good cosplayer, you need to do a panel. The end. Door closed. Okay, let's go on to my second very controversial opinion. Okay, actually first I need coffee. This is the iced hazelnut oat milk shaken espresso. It's very good. It's very, very good. I just got it because I wanted something different today. But it does its job. It has a lot of shots of, this is like a venti, so this has a lot of shots of caffeine, which I need. Okay, so the second controversial opinion, guys, the community is so freaking obsessed with being seen at the point that we've lost the plot of what it even means to be doing cosplay in public at social events anymore. I want you to go to your next convention and look around and witness how many people do you see doing TikTok dances in the middle of an open space where other people are trying to walk? How many people do you see with their professional photographers doing a full-on photo shoot in an area that is indoors, that is taking up space where people would probably be sitting down and relaxing if they could? How many people do you see walking around vlogging with their face close up in the camera, filming themselves going, "Hi guys, we are at today's convention. Oh my God." And you just see all these random people in the background, or maybe even you yourself are one of those random background people. Guys, I'm probably an awful cosplayer because when I see people doing this stuff where they are clearly just filming strangers, like no regret, no remorse, I am the person that is in the back doing the most awful face I absolutely can do. Sticking out my tongue, looking grumpy, looking mad, going as crazy as I possibly can while they're doing their TikTok video. Because I shouldn't even have to say this, but if you're going to do that stuff, do it where people are not walking, where there is not crowds, where there's not someone that's like, "Ooh, I really would have not liked to be in this video, but you gave me no option. And now I'm in a random person's TikTok video." Great. On the convention websites, they say you may be photographed, you may be on video somewhere, we may record you, but that is because the marketing people of this event, the actual professional marketing photographers and videographers that go to the balls or the cosplay competitions, things like that, where they have their big equipment out, they do filming. This is not saying oh yeah, anyone there is allowed to film up in your face and get all up in your business, or film you when you're trying to sit down and eat a pizza slice in your Sailor Moon outfit. No, that is not what they're saying. And this is because cosplayers are so obsessed with needing to get as much footage and photos and videos of themselves as possible to go slap up on their social media afterwards. And it has become this horrible infectious disease where we are just letting it happen. If more people were shaming people doing this, they would stop doing it. I get it. You want to do your fun TikTok dance and put it up there in your cosplay outfit, or you want to make out as characters. Guys, I've seen characters setting up their camera on their tripod and then going in front of it with other characters and then acting out an entire scene, which, okay, we probably did some of this stuff when we were younger, but not to that extent, and definitely not in front of crowds of people where everyone's like, "You guys seeing this? This is weird." I wouldn't be so upset about it, except for the fact that these people have absolutely no care in the world for everyone that is behind them that does not want to be captured. It is really not hard to film yourself doing that TikTok video in front of a wall, in front of a leafy green background somewhere, or even just going outside and finding a quiet space. But it's not even about getting the content. It's about being seen getting the content. And I see people walking around handing out business cards of their YouTubes and their Instagrams and their TikToks and whatever. And I'm like, this is great, but most of us here are just here for doing hobby cosplay. We're not here to do a business transaction. And also, I don't want to be in your stupid TikTok video. So can you just turn it around a little bit? I don't want to be seen every second of every moment of the day. It's already hard enough trying to make sure that you pose and you look good for all the pictures people want to take. I don't want to think about am I doing the Bigfoot pose, in the back of someone's video, Or like, did someone get a photo of me and I'm trying to sit down and my wig is off my head? Like, I don't want to be in the back of their photo looking like that. Really hate it. Okay. I could talk about that forever. Maybe that'll be a full video for another time. Now we're going to go into opinion number 3 that is so controversial. This is, how do I say this? This is a very recent opinion that people have been bringing up more and more because a lot of the cosplay community is now getting super into doing competitions. I'm not talking about people doing like, you know, 1 or 2 every once in a while. I'm talking about the people that are going to competitions like religiously, like throughout the year, every time that they go to a convention, it is because there is a competition somewhere in there and they're going to do it. But if you do a costume, if you do a cosplay costume, yes, makeup is 100% a part of your costume. Does that mean you have to wear it? No, absolutely not. And actually, I really want to say that we are so obsessed with perfection these days as cosplayers that even if I wear shoes that are not screen accurate or are not the perfectly right color, it makes me freak out. It makes me feel like, oh my God, like I know no one can see these shoes because they're under a long skirt, but like what if someone did? When I wore my Princess Odette outfit, I spent so much time on that dress and like I hired someone to make the wig because I wanted it to look perfect. And when it came to the shoes, I was like, oh, I didn't even think about like, what am I going to wear for shoes under this very long ball gown that trails the ground? And so I wore these like sparkly flats that I already had. But had I not already owned those, I would have gone out and like tried to match them, tried the best of my abilities to make sure they went with the costume. And then later I thought about it and I was like, I have a pair of just really like nude suede flats. I should have just worn those because like, who cares? No one's going to see my feet. And if they see my feet, they don't care. They're looking at the rest of the costume. But one of the parts of doing cosplay very publicly, where you are going to do competitions or you're going to be up in front of a stage, like in front of lots of people. If you are going to put that much work and that much effort into a cosplay costume, you obviously are a skilled learner. You are skilled at figuring things out. You're adaptable. You can figure this out. You can learn makeup too. And I know, I get it, guys. Some people are like, I love creating and I love making things. I don't want to wear makeup or wigs. That is 100% okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you compete and there's judges involved, they are going to judge you and say, this person did not try as hard because they did not wear makeup or they didn't wear a wig or they, went the lowest effort possible to look like their character, as in they made an awesome outfit, but they didn't try to actually look like the character because they're missing elements of the character. You don't have to look exactly like them, but you gotta try to get some of the elements into there. Like when I've done Aubrey, I don't have black hair, I have brown hair. But I usually have shorter bangs. I wear hair extensions, so my hair is very, very long like hers. I put a little bit more effort in to become more like the character, or so that the character kind of like becomes me a little bit more. And makeup is just a part of that. When we see a lot of anime characters, they have very sculpted eyes. They have huge eyelashes, like doll eyes. Or a lot of characters also have like a look about them that you can recreate with makeup by doing different shading techniques, by doing different contouring and things like that, especially if you're going to do like a crossplay. So if I was going to, cosplay a male-facing character, or someone who's going to cosplay a female-facing character and they're a male, using the makeup makes you look a lot more like that gender, and it's very, very helpful. There are so many videos out there online to help you learn how to do it. So if you've just always been very uncomfortable with it, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, that is okay. You can learn. You can 100% learn. And even just the smallest minimal amount of makeup can make a huge difference. Using a BB cream instead of a foundation where it's barely noticeable, but it just gives you a little bit more of like a healthier glow. Using like a tiny bit of lip oil or a tiny bit of like lip tint instead of a lipstick. or even just doing like a strip of false lashes and nothing else. Those things do make a huge difference. And if you're going to compete, the judges notice that, because what they're noticing is that you're putting in effort. Not that it looks amazing, not that you look perfect or like a model, but just that like, hey, this person put in effort for their costume, so we're going to give them some brownie points for that. But that is going to go into my next controversial opinion. We're going into number 4, which is something to keep in mind. Guys, cosplay competitions are not fair. They are not judged accurately. There is no grading scale that is professionally made. Most competitions are completely just making it up. So like, it's kind of like in a lot of those game shows that we watched as kids, or the acting shows, the improv shows, you know, where they would say the rules are made up and the points don't matter. That's how cosplay competitions are. I would like to think that when people are judges at these competitions, they are doing the best of their ability to judge other people's outfits. But unfortunately, because of bias, previous experience, and the fact that most of these judges were only chosen because they have a large amount of followers online, I have to just say, like, competitions are not by any means fair. They are not grabbing judges who are industry experts. I'll put it that way. Like, you're not going to see fashion designers in there. You're not going to see professional crafters, like people who make theatrical level outfits for like the Seattle Ballet Company and stuff. You never see those people in there, which I would love to see. I would love to see more industry experts with like a good, like, hey, I went to school for this. Like I know design, I know color coordination, I know beading techniques, like things like that. And I'm able to like accurately judge. But when you have judges in there who are just simply influencers, the skills that they have learned are not always technically accurate, or what they think should be acceptable versus like what the rest of the community thinks is acceptable are two very different things. So this is why I don't want to do competitions. Like, I would love to walk on a stage to music and become my character, even if it's just for like 2 minutes. I think that would be really fun. But the judging part of the competition, I swear to God, would probably break me as a cosplayer. Because when I make things, when I sew things, they are not always perfect. This is a potato bag. This is going to sound so random, but this is a bag that you can put warmed up potatoes or warmed up rolls in, especially if you want to do cheese fondue. And I made this because when I was in Switzerland, we had fondue there and they brought potatoes out in this bag. They kept them warm, and I was like, that is so freaking cute and such a good idea that I wanted to make them for other people. However, there is no pattern online to make these. There is nothing. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make my own pattern, which unfortunately means little mistakes like this happen. So I don't know if you can see that side. It didn't line up all the way. That's okay, because like, who cares? It's a bag for potatoes. No one's going to be looking at that part and going, oh, well, you didn't line it up perfectly. Sorry. 1 out of 5 stars. But when you do a cosplay competition, the judges are looking for the flaws. They are looking to find out, okay, well, what did she do wrong though? So we can mark her down for it. So they're flipping your seams. They're looking for accuracies. They're like, okay, was this sewn exactly, you know, 1/4 of an inch away from every edge, or some edges slightly closer and some are farther away because you're not a perfectly straight sewer? Did you hand finish this or machine finish it? Do you have a serger? Oh, you don't have a serger, so you didn't like serge your edges? That's going to be points down. So when you do a competition, it's not going to be fair. What they're trying to do is they are trying to find the person that has the coolest looking costume. That's really what it is. So if you have a 3D printed outfit that is full of electric work and lights, right out of the gate, you're already going to have a way higher advantage to place than someone who made a ball gown that was hand sewed and hand beaded, even though that might be harder and longer work and need a more difficult skill set in order to do. I would say that if you're going to do a competition, do it for fun. Don't do it if you have weak skin. Like, you need to have tough skin. in order to do it. You need to be okay with someone looking at you straight in the face and going, you did that wrong. You're not a very good cosplayer. Will they say it like that? Probably not. But the way they're going to talk to you about it and the way they're going to judge your outfit as if you need to improve on things. They're going to find things for you to improve on. So if you've done your absolutely best work and you feel amazing and you're like, I feel flawless in this, I really feel like the character when I'm wearing this, and then someone comes in and they hand you an entire list of things that they're like, well, this doesn't look good, this is wrong. That puts ideas into your brain that do very bad things. I think they do very, very terrible things. It's not what you know or how well you do it, it's who you know. And unfortunately, many competitions also, like, they're influencers. They know other influencers. They know people that do competitions. You will start to notice a pattern if you follow kind of like certain groups of cosplayers. You're like, wait a second, that person was judging that person's contest, but then they did a collab video after, and oh, they're also friends. And wait, but they placed, wait a second, something is not adding up. Like, yeah, they're an amazing cosplayer and they did a great job, but like, was it fair that their friend was a judge in their own competition? I don't know. Like, that feels really weird to me. That doesn't feel fair because it's not. Oh, duh, it's not fair. So yeah, contests are not fair in any way, shape, or form. I don't know what else to tell you. If you guys went into cosplay thinking like this is a super fair community and I'm going to get treated fairly, and if I work really, really hard, I will become an influencer making a ton of money, I am so sorry. You are so misled. It is not like that at all. Okay, my last controversial opinion is that when you choose specific styles or specific types of characters to cosplay over and over, the community sees everything and they judge you very accurately, and they know what type of person you are in our community, like just right off the bat. When I go to a cosplayer's social media page and I scroll through their videos and their photos, I can tell in about 3 seconds if I'm going to get along with them and I'm going to learn from them and like them, or if I'm going to be like, I don't think we're doing cosplay for the same reason, so yeah, I'm not going to give you a follow, sorry. This is like the worst part of the video because I'm going to be saying some like really, really heated things here. But guys, when a cosplayer is consistently choosing extremely over-sexualized characters, this person wants validation. They want a community backing them up saying, dude, you look hot, you're great, like you do a good job, you're a good person, you're a good cosplayer. That is the kind of validation they want to hear. In fact, they might have some, self-confidence issues that maybe is only remedied by showing enough skin or assets in order to make them feel worthy of doing cosplay. And I'm saying this for someone who every single costume is an over-sexualized version of that character. Can you have big boobs or a big butt? No matter who you cosplay, it's going to look like that? Yeah, of course. Like, people are born in every shape and form. But when you choose a character and your every outfit is essentially a bikini with some accessories added on, we know about you as a cosplayer. Like, we're not going to act stupid. We're not going to act like, oh, yeah, I don't know. That's so weird. They always choose that kind of person or that character. We know what you're doing. It's okay. It's not a secret. And guys, I get it. As a female in the cosplayer community, it is so freaking hard to even like throw a stone and not hit a character that's like boobs or butt are not totally on full display. But I have to be mindful of like, okay, what am I showing younger cosplayers if I'm only choosing those characters? Like, I want to have characters that I'm like, I love their backstory. I love their design. I love their color scheme. I loved their arc in the story. I want to do them justice and bring them to life. And even if they are like on full display, that doesn't necessarily mean I want to do that with my own body, or how I'm going to do it is even going to look exactly the same. The other thing is that if you are always choosing a character who is outrageous, they are a crazy character who is always doing crazy things in the anime, in the show, in the movie, Deadpool. I want you guys to think how many videos that you have seen online of Deadpools who are actually grabbing people, touching people, throwing things, or getting into trouble at conventions. There is this huge handful of them. And it is because it is a character who can kind of get away with acting in character and doing things that are just like not acceptable at all. There's other characters from other fandoms. There is always kind of like, I would say every 5 years it shifts, like who are the problematic characters of today that you see them at conventions and you're like, I'm going to stay away from you because you're acting really weird and you're in that costume that like I can't see your face. And everyone who always chooses to do these characters is always doing them because I know they're going to try to grab my butt or pick me up, or they're going to do something weird. I don't know what it is. But yeah, the community sees you. We see you doing these crazy things and we're like, okay, well, we're staying away from that person because that person does not have boundaries. They don't understand the word no. They're choosing these characters because the characters are insane. Like in the animes, in the movies, like they are insane characters that can kind of get away with anything. I actually surprisingly have not had this interaction as much with villains. Like I've actually found most villains that I've met at conventions to be extremely respectful and very nice. I've been to a lot of Disney meetups and like childhood movie meetups and things like that. And the villains have always been some of the most respectful people I've met there. So it's not true about every type, but I will say that forever sexy cosplayers, and then I always choose the most outlandish, insane character, and I stay fully in character when I'm dressed like them. Those two people, the community sees you. We know what you're doing. We don't really like it or agree with it. We're going to stay kind of far away from you because I don't know what's going on. The other thing about this is that, unfortunately, these characters, because they need attention, these types of people in the community, they don't play well with others. The sexy cosplayer is constantly in competition with everyone around them. They don't like competition. Or they love competition because they are a very aggressive person and they need to be the best. And the person who can get away with everything needs to be the most outlandish. They need to be the loudest. They need to be getting into the most trouble at the conventions. These are usually the people you see getting escorted out because they thought, I could get away with picking up a random girl. That's probably a normal thing to do, right? Yeah, not so much anymore, buddy. We don't like it. Okay, you guys, it's been a long video. I've said a lot of opinions. Get out your pitchforks, get out your fire, whatever. I'm still here, still gonna be talking, but I hope your Christmas like tones down a little bit. You get to have like an easygoing, relaxing, happy Christmas, not a stressful one. You know, welcome Santa Claus, go open your gifts, drink your hot cocoa, come back for another video later on. I'll probably see you guys like after the new year, maybe, we'll see. Anyways, bye guys, see you later.